All right, so we are in our session 2 of PMP training, and today we are starting with strategic alignment. This is part of business environment domain of the exam. So strategic alignment is more or less about how my project, my initiative that I have is linked with the organizational overall strategy. Is there any uh, part of my objective of the project? Is there anything that I'm contributing to the bottom line of the organization, which maybe is to generate more revenue, to um, to increase our organization uh, footprint? Okay, maybe we are intending with this project to make our customers happy by improving our service. Okay, whatever our organizational objective is, are we somehow contributing in achieving that bigger objective? Okay, so that's how we call it strategically aligning our initiatives, projects, programs to the organizational strategy. PMI has provided us PMI talent triangle, okay, which covers three areas of project manager knowledge and skills. So when we obtain our PMP certification and we lead projects in our organizations, we should constantly develop ourselves in these three areas. We should try to take more courses, more learn more about these three important skills or knowledge domains, which is power skills, business acumen, and third is ways of working. So, power skills mean that your own interpersonal skills, your soft skills basically, how you deal with people, your people skills, which means your communication, your how you lead people, how you inspire and motivate people. So, part of your project management job, or I would say, bigger part of your project management job would be how you lead people, how you communicate with them, how well you work with them, your interpersonal skills, how you connect with each people at a person level. So that's a powerful skill that they call it a power skills, and it's all of your interpersonal skills. Okay. Then you need to understand business acumen, which means you should have thorough understanding of your organizational underlying operations and underlying products and underlying ways of working, workflows, what you sell, how you sell, what are you in the product industry, are you in the service industry, how your fulfillment cycle works, how your assurance cycle works, how you provide the order to the customer, how you provide service to the customer, how you fix their problems. So, what you sell, what product you sell, the knowledge of the product or the services that you provide, and how the processes of providing these services and what is the bottom line for your organization. So these are the business acumen, the business ways of working knowledge. Okay. So this is the area also where you need to keep your focus, keep learning more about the job that you do, and it will help you grow your skills and grow your get more projects, get involved in the organization decision making, and make a strategic impact in the organization through your project management career. So the way the third area is ways of working. which means that you need to adapt various ways of working, whatever is applicable in your situation, in your scenario where you work. If you are in a predictive organization which is moving towards agile, then you need to adopt the ways of agile, working of agile. So you need to go learn, get trained, and train others about principles, about values of agile and other adaptive life cycles. In doing so, you will come across the whole design aspect of it, the system aspect of it, the organization. You will look at it as a system, as a big system. So you cannot touch human body and fix a problem in the head if there is an headache. It's a complete system. You have to you have to find a remedy that actually does not have an impact on all body parts. So you are going to fix the headache, but you can't break the heart, right? It's a complete system. So the medicine, the remedy, before proposing a remedy, you need to think about the whole system, right? So these are the areas also design thinking, system thinking, and various type of uh, adaptive life cycles. You need to understand that what is workable in your own scenario. Okay, so if you are right now in predictive and predictive is slow, but it is working, so you can continue with the predictive, but that decision making will come with some sound justification, some sound reasoning, why we need agile, what problem it will solve, you know? Okay. Then, so since we are talking about strategic alignment of initiatives, projects, programs with the organization strategy. So you should be aware of what your organizational strategy means. Does it mean that what are the projects, programs we are doing for next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road? Maybe yes, but for what? What is our mission? What are our goals? What is our vision? So, understanding long term goals of your organization and then understanding various objectives of your organization and then aligning those objectives with the goals and objectives of your projects. So, connecting your team that look, we are working on a strategic initiative, it's gonna help the whole organization to achieve the strategic vision of 2020-30, which is that we are going to be the number one service provider in this domain where we work, let's say. So that's how we connect. So the more people realize that you have involved them in a strategic project, they feel important. They feel they can contribute to something meaningful. So this is the first role of you as a leader of a team, that you connect the team with the vision of the organization. And if the vision is high, then motivation comes. Then you have the buy-in, and then you don't need to motivate. The motivation will come on its own. Okay. So this will come only when you yourself read through the vision of the organization, um, and uh, and envision it, embrace it, and see it from your eyes. Then you can paint the picture in front of your team members in your own words, and then how each one of them can contribute with their level of skill that they have. So think about and explain the essential business aspect of a project that you have done in your past organizations. So, what was it directly related to? Can you share your experience?
Mm. For business,
Mhm. So, what was the business of the organization and how the project was related to it?
um, yeah, I am working in oil and gas sector.
Mhm.
So the project over here is like construction.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
So we need to
Support
construct a
infrastructure. So, you are basically um, you are assisting the oil and gas industry. Your organization is assisting the oil and gas industry through support infrastructure by constructing the
mm,
support infrastructure. True?
correct.
Yeah. Which may involve um, setting up the newly found oil sites with
Oils,
all the
yes,
infrastructure around it, with the facilities around it, with the equipment around it, with with all the facility management. Correct?
correct.
Okay. True.
It's a complete package. So we just move a module from to the oil exploration. Then these modules are used for oil explorations.
So there are some types of cameras, robots that go inside the drilling where it happens. So it helps the drilling. True.
Drilling, not like that. We this modules will pump the oil and it will refine and it will be transported to onshore
Okay. It's okay. Extraction. Okay. Great.
extraction.
Mhm. But not from water, but basically from the land, right? Not in the water.
No, in subsea and in offshore also,
Oh,
which
good.
means it's a 7 kilometer deep sea will be there. So from there we'll explore kind of structure which will pump the oil from over there and it will transport it to ship. Then the ship will be moved to the onshore.
All right. So
So
just
we
just
are in
a
three dimensions.
just a question. So the oil, it it is the deep sea oil, right? It's the
Yeah,
on the
right.
ground of the sea
Mhm.
level, right? You touch the ground of the sea level, and then
Correct.
you drill down the ground of the sea level, right? And then you suck it up through the water and save it, through the
Yes.
pipes and whatever you put down,
Yeah.
right? Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I got the
Right.
idea. I got the
Exactly.
idea. So there must be
Like
some
how we are doing the bore waters.
bore.
Similar way we
Exactly,
think like that.
exactly. The bore goes down and the water comes up. Okay,
It's
yeah,
well bore, similar
well
to
bored.
that. That's all. The only component what we are doing is the pump. The bore pump we are just manufacturing.
All right. So I got the idea of your business, your organization business, and you know well what you do. That's good. That's good. So
Yeah.
now, uh, in those projects, okay, um, in those projects, the PM he works with the sponsor to
Yeah.
deliver to develop a strategy for the delivery of the project. Okay, so
Exactly.
it may have to, he may has to understand objectives, prepare charters, align with various stakeholders, form a team, um, understand the scope, and do all the execution, risk management, and finally he delivers. Okay, so
Correct.
this is how they formulate a strategy and then they deliver the strategies, and it also involves monitoring, controlling of various aspects of the project. All right.
Yes.
So, so the idea here is that any effort that is being done in the organization, it should contribute towards the bigger objective. So whether it is an operation or it is a project or it is a program or it is a portfolio, uh, maybe a single task of laying a cable by some cable man, okay, some labor, it should not be for nothing. It should be for a project. It should be for an operation. It should be counted, contributed. It should be contributing towards achieving our strategy. So if you find somebody doing some work which is not contributing to organizational objectives and organizational projects somehow, so it should be stopped. There is the wastage. There is the there where is the waste is happening actually. So every effort should contribute towards achieving the ultimate vision, the mission, and the organizational objectives of the organization. And the projects, programs, and portfolios, creating projects, programs, and portfolio provides the organizational project management framework or vehicle to achieve the strategic objectives of the organization. Once we do projects, we influence or get influenced by the organizations in which we work. So we cannot do projects in silos. We do projects in organizations, and where organizations work, they are part of an environment. And there are organizational influences on the project and to people working on the project and to their lives also and to um, their and the project objectives also. So, and these could be from internally within the organization, you are getting impacted in number of ways, and outside the organization, the environment which is outside the organization, and you are getting impacted in number of ways. You yourself, your team, and your project and its objectives will get impacted by number of factors. Some of these will be internal to the organization, and some of these will be external to the organization, and you would be impacted positively or negatively. So there would be internal to the organization various elements, organizational ways of working, structure that could be pro project or it could be pro people. You might have organizational values directly in supporting the work life balance, uh, people first approach. So the more the friendly environment internally you get, the more success your project will see and the more happy your team will remain. So there are two important factors which we always consider in projects. One is enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets. So when it comes to enterprise environmental factors, these are of two types. One is internal to the organization, the other is external to the organization. And then when it comes to organizational process assets, these are also of two types. One is process policies and procedures, those documented processes, policies, and procedures. And there is a knowledge repository, which we call corporate knowledge base. So let's look at various enterprise environmental factors which are external to the organization. So we have various models to understand what can impact your project externally. So PESTEL is a model which talks about the political, geoeconomic, socio-cultural, technical, legal, and environmental factors which can have impact on your project objectives. So you will be, let's say, you find your project is being done in a highly war torn country. There is a war which happened or which is happening. So politically, you are in a bad condition. So your country where you are doing the project has a turmoil, has a war, is a war inflicted country. Okay, so your project activities will definitely get impacted. Or if the economic condition is down, okay, or if there is any social or cultural change happening, or barrier, social or cultural barrier is there, that will also impact your project activities. If you are having any technical limitation, that will also impact, directly impact the project work, the solutions, the alternatives that you have. If there is any legal issue, legal regulatory compliance issue is there, definitely your hands will be tied. You won't be able to take various alternatives because of the legal complexities. And so as the environmental issues. So similar to pastel, we have teacup, we have VOCA, but all gives you what kind of external factors can impact your project, whether it is technical, environmental, commercial, operational, political factors which will limit your choices, your alternatives. Similarly, VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity, gives you some idea about all the external business environment where you are working. In addition to these various models, you can also use the feasibility study. You can also go through, conduct a thorough SWOT analysis of your organization. SWOT will tell you what are your strengths, weaknesses, and what are the areas of opportunities, and what are the threats that you foresee in the project. And uh, from there, you will be understanding the complexity and the pitfalls that you may see, because your inner weaknesses in the organization will become your um, the areas where you from where you are prone to various threats, and the weaknesses will actually limit your choices in your project. So if you have a strong skill set available in house, it's another story. You may succeed in the project, but if you have the skill set is not available, that becomes your weakness. So the more the opportunities you foresee in the environment, the more opportunities your project will also foresee in the environment. And similarly, the areas from where you may fail, the threats to the organization are the threats to the projects of the organization. So also in analyzing various factors externally, you should also analyze your assumptions. So always challenge your assumptions. Your assumptions are not always 100% true. So you need to revalidate your assumptions, ask questions. Don't assume, ask questions. Similarly, go through the historical information. Similar projects might have been done in past, and learn from those projects what happened, why these projects succeeded, why these projects failed. That historical information can also help you long way. And all of this is to know externally why projects get impacted externally. So these areas will help you identify various external factors. And similarly, on these lines, if you look into the organization internally, internal to these walls, you may also find yourself limited by various reasons, internal processes, internal tools that are available, internal skill sets that are available. These options will actually impact the deliverables of your um, projects. It will impact various projects due to reprioritization. Uh, the reprioritization will impact your project as well, because other initiative has more priority in terms of the value it brings for the organization. So it will impact uh, descoping your project, or maybe closing your project altogether. So you need to understand how internal changes actually has an impact to your ongoing projects as well. So if you look at enterprise environmental factors, and we talked about these in detail, that there are internal and external. And in external, we said that there are marketplace conditions, there are legal requirements, there may be regulatory requirements, there may be technical requirements, there may be environmental requirements, political requirements, socio-economical, cultural requirements. And internal to the organization, we said that internal to the organization, their skill set, the organizational structure, the organization vision, the values, the work life balance, what is the um, support available for the projects, the support infrastructure. Do you have the tools, right tools to work, to collaborate, to plan the project, the scheduling softwares? Do you have MS Project? Do you have Primavera? What kind of collaboration tools you have? What kind of change management tools you have? So all these organizational structure, organization vision, values, internal skill set, internal tools, these will determine which deliverables, how your project can succeed with the support from internally, or how you will get impacted badly internally. Okay, so these things are important. And then towards your left is the OPA, organizational process assets. So process assets, as we said, also is of two types. One is the repository of the processes, policies, and procedures, processes for change management, processes for issue management, escalation management, processes and policies for the HR hiring, guidelines, um, guidelines for choosing various type of life cycles, tailoring your project, tailoring your processes to meet the needs of the project. So all this is documented or not. If not, then it will be documented, various processes you will need, and then these will become part of your OPA. So you will make these processes and these will be added to the process repository. So the collection of processes, policies, procedures related to hiring, firing, organizational change management, all these are part of the OPA. And then organization knowledge base. Knowledge base is your past project files, your lessons learned registers, your estimates, your risk registers, your project charters. So you will look into all these project files of the previous projects that were done previously in the organization for help to start with, to look what was the success ratio, what was the success factor, what were the pitfalls, what were the risks, what were the lessons that we learned in the past. If you need to look at the estimates, you can look that similar kind of projects we use various techniques, which techniques we used, how we estimated that project, how what was the budget for those projects, what were the common issues in those projects. So you can look into the organization knowledge base that has the past project files. Those project files has various files such as risk register, issue log, project charter. So you can look into lessons learned register. So you can read through those documents and get an idea for your future project that you are doing. I hope you have now got the idea of EEF and OPAs very well, right?
Right.
Any question in these two?
No.
Okay, so question from you. Which of these are enterprise environmental factors and which of these are organizational process assets out of A, B, C, D, and E, and F?
Uh, economic demand for new shopping area. It is environmental factor,
Factor, yes,
historical,
enterprise.
yes,
Hmm.
enterprise factor, and historical society building regularization. Society building regularization. This is also EEF B,
Regulatory, yeah.
local neighborhood demand for better town center, and this is also EEF
Mhm.
C.
Yeah, it is
Is that right?
external. Yeah, external local neighborhood demand for the better town center. Yes,
Yes.
true.
Archive of past large infrastructure project. This is comes under OPA.
Archive of the past large infrastructure projects. True. This is OPA. Under OPA, which part? Knowledge repository, right?
Yes.
True.
Approved vendor and contractor list. Yes, this also comes under OPA.
True. Very good.
Tenant selection process. This is also OPA.
True. Tenant selection. OPA. Yeah. Your hiring procedures. Okay.
Correct.
True. True. Okay. Great. So in today's so far lecture, we covered how projects are strategically related to organization strategy. Then we went through the organizational influences on the project. We said that organizations do impact um, the projects and project people and project objectives. The way the organization structures are, the way their vision, mission, and values are. So it has an impact. And then we said that um, we talked about various external and internal factors and how projects align with the broader organizational strategy. Okay. Now will talk about uh, the concept of business value, which is different for each business. But broadly speaking, business value is the sum of the tangible and non-tangible or intangible assets of the organization. So what business value means to me may be different for the business that you do. However, it will be always some of tangible and intangible assets. So what do we mean by tangible assets? So tangible assets are those which we can make, give a figure, give a dollar value. We can visualize. Okay. Um, So, so we can say that any financials, okay. So the EBITDA margin, the revenue growth, the uh, the number of customers, the subscribers that you have, anything that you can put a dollar value, you can put figures, you can explain in measurable terms. Okay. um, that is your business value, tangible business value. And it can also include um, the non-tangible, the things that cannot be measured, but just as your customer satisfaction, your market, uh, your face value, your market value, your ratings, rankings, how people rate you, how people consider you in terms of service delivery, how satisfied your customers are. So these are the intangible assets. Uh, Projects are done to support business value.
Which
Either
is intangible means, which is it will not comes under uh, numerical word,
true, true.
numerical or
Yeah, you cannot.
numerical
Yeah, you cannot give it a dollar value. You cannot give it a
dollar
figure.
value.
You can
Mhm.
always subjectively evaluate it. That
Correct, like brand value,
yeah,
brand
brand
value,
value, brand recognition, face value of
award,
your business. Yeah,
award and yes, award and
happiness,
recognition.
customer happiness. So
Um,
it can't be measured. It just can be subjectively and evaluated, right?
okay, understood.
But the other terms like what is your profit margin, what is your revenue growth, what are how many subscribers, millions of subscribers you have,
Mm.
what dollar value this new project will add to the bottom line of the business. Um, so these are your tangible values. However, whether it is contribution towards tangible value or intangible value, the projects will contribute towards the business value of the organization. So we will do it because we want to generate value for the business, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So first thing first, the business analyst has to analyze the business, and he or she has to put that very much logic of doing the project. What is the benefit that we are getting out of this project, right? So
Okay.
when we are assessing the need, we are analyzing the benefits, the impact that it will have. We are understanding the requirements, the goals, why we are doing it, the cost benefit analysis of each new demand, each new requirement, why it should be there, why this feature should be there. So there should be some rationale, there should be some goal, there should be some opportunity, there should be some value of doing it, right? So this is the process that we normally assigned to business analyst, that his role is to understand the requirements, to gather the scope, to clarify the scope, and to determine the goals and opportunities that we foresee in doing so, so that we can take this requirement and get it done. But not everything we have to take it and get it done, take it and get it done, because stakeholder is telling us no. We have to stop. We have to think, analyze impact of this change again. You can tell me that you have 5 fingers in one hand. Okay, put one more. I cannot. I cannot simply just add one more finger, right? It has a impact to the overall symmetry of the body, right? so so this is important, that why should we do it before doing it, the rationale, that what should we do instead, what should we, why don't we do some other project, why this project, right? So that has to be analyzed. So more data we collect, more better decisions we will be able to make, either selecting a feature over another feature, or project over another project. Okay. Uh, to start with, we develop business requirement document, and usually it is done by the business analyst. If he is not hired, then PM comes forward, and then PM wears the hat of a business analyst, and he performs this role of gathering the requirements and preparing the business requirement document with all the uh, workshops that he will be doing, interviews, surveys, questionnaires, brainstorming sessions that he will be doing. But the idea would be that gather the requirements, gather the rules, gather the business logic, and form the business requirement document. So that's a very few first documents that you will be starting the project with. And which other documents will also support you in the business requirement document is that the business case of the project. Uh, Business case of the project is definitely the cost benefit analysis, the business need of your project, why it exists. And business case usually leads to the creation of the charter. So if the strong business case is there, then as per the PMI, the project starts uh, with the approval of the charter. So the project charter is an important document, and business case actually provides various inputs that are required for chartering a project. We also have projects are projects will bring ultimately benefits for the organization even during the project when it is done, and even years and years after the project will be completed and the deliverables will be used. So we will foresee some benefits as well. True. Let us say you constructed a new train service between a city, and this was a project, and then you launched the train service. Now, the more the people will use this train year by year, the more benefit you will realize from doing this project. True. So you need to prepare a business management plan, but not you as a project manager, or um, not your project management team. This is not a project management uh, document, or this is not a project management plan. It's not part of project management plan. However, it is a business document, just like business value. When there is a cost benefit analysis done and various formulas are used uh, to approve a project. Okay, we say that, okay, let's say there is a project that is being done because we can recover our investment in the payback period for this project A is 2 years, 3 years, whereas payback period of the project B is 10 years. So let's do project A because we can recover our money within 2 3 years. Very good. So there is a cost benefit analysis done, but again, it has to be supported in detail by a benefit management plan. Okay, so that's another business document, but still, project charter is the project management document. Project management plan is a project management document, but business value, business case, and business benefits management plan are part of the business documents. Are you getting the distinction? Are you here?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. Okay, so since we are chartering the projects, and then we need projects to be approved so that we can start working on the project. So there is an evaluation going on. There is a cost benefit analysis going on. So people business people, they are evaluating various initiatives because they have stakeholders' money and they have to invest it and to generate the value. So they have various projects A, B, C, D where they should invest, and then they evaluate each of these alternative through various formulas. So they say, okay, let's understand the present value, future value, net present value, internal rate of return, return on investment, payback period. So which of the project we should choose? They say, okay, bigger is always better. Okay, when you have a net present value of a project, so some of the cash inflows, some of the cash outflows is actually positive. Let's choose that project. So payback period, shorter is the better. Payback period mean how soon you can recover your money. Okay, I want to recover it in 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, better than 10 years. True? Yeah. So opportunity cost, it means that what I will lose if I invest on project A, uh, I will lose all those benefits that I would have got by investing on project B. So that's my opportunity cost. Maybe $200 I would get from project B if I do so. And I'm losing, I'm willing to lose it for project A, because in project A, I'm forecasting that I will gain $500. So okay, there is a cost benefit analysis done, and then we foresee that project A is more beneficial. So we are losing the opportunity to invest on project B. So opportunity cost is, what if we didn't take this project and we did the other project? So what benefits we would have, right? Okay. And other terminologies like internal rate of return, return on investment, uh, all financial, but from PMP exam point of view, don't need to calculate any of these in the exam. Just if you are asked to evaluate two projects, okay. So for the payback period, you should choose a project which has smaller payback period, and for the present value, net present value, future value, internal rate of return, return on investment, you should choose whichever project
Do
is
we
giving
have
you.
any example for this? What is opportunity cost and uh, what is the do you have any such
Yeah, yeah.
example?
Yes, yes, yes. I can show you now. I can show you. We can see.
I think your PC.
Yeah, battery is getting down.